Okay, so welcome back to Breslov Efrat. Welcome David Frank. He came in all the way from
Beit
Shemesh. Wow, Baruch Hashem. Okay, everyone. So we're in Likutey Halachos, Baruch Hashem, with Siyata D'Shmai. We're going to continue Hilchos Netilas Yadayim Shachris Dalid, and this is again all based on Torah Samach Hey in Likutey Maran. And Baruch Hashem, we learned through the Torah, and we spent a lot of time discussing it, and I hope everyone gained a lot from it. David, welcome. Okay, good. Okay, and hopefully everyone gained by the understanding when we get up in the morning that Rishimu that we have from when we closed our eyes and we just trusted in the Rebbeinu Shalom by going to sleep. You know, we don't know what's going on around us. We just go to sleep, and we just trust in the Rebbeinu Shalom, and then the Neshama takes a trip all the way up on high. And then we say, Neshama shechazalta be, right, and Neshama comes back, and then the Neshama comes back, and it comes back with the Rishimu, with that beautiful trace of holiness and light. So we're learning on how to cash in on that light, and how can I benefit by that light? So today we're going to see an idea. We mentioned Moshe Rabbeinu, right? We mentioned the idea about Moshe Rabbeinu. How Shlomo Melech, yesterday's lesson was Shlomo Melech praised David, Moshe Rabbeinu, that he was able to go up to Shemayim and come down successfully with Torah, not only with Torah, with the entire Torah. That's how Moshe Rabbeinu's his Bittel was. It was such a level that he was able to be mevatel himself to go to Shemayim, fight with the Malachim, win with the Malachim, bring down the Torah successfully. Unbelievable. Rabbi, we spoke about Rabbi Akiva was also able to do that, but then we said that Ben Azai wasn't able to do that, and we said that Ben Zayman was not able to do that, and these were great people. Elisha Ben Avuya wasn't able to do that, right? So, okay, but now we're going to, since Rab Nassim brought in Moshe Rabbeinu, we're going to continue a little bit more about Moshe Rabbeinu and about where did Moshe Rabbeinu get the idea to have this bittul. Where did he understand this concept? So let's learn a little bit about it. Tesvav 15. We did Yudalad yesterday. We have the place, okay. Vayar Malach Hashem Eila Balavois Eish Mitoich Hasneh. Vayar Malach Hashem Eila Balavois Eish B'Mitoich Hasneh. So Moshe Rabbeinu was out shepherding his sheep, right? He was doing his work for Yisrael, right? And all of a sudden he sees there's a burning bush. There's something going on there. I could just imagine what that must have been like for him. Right? Could you just imagine? He's just, enjoy his day. He's talking to the Rebbeinu, right? And he's with his sheep. And all of a sudden he sees this view of a burning bush. And then the Malach Hashem, and he sees this Malach. What is going on? Shemaram is al Tzoros Yisrael. This is really hinting to he saw. Because Moshe Rabbeinu, don't forget, he left. He was away, with Yisrael, right? So he didn't really know exactly what was going on. He knew what happened when he left. In other words, he had a good understanding what it was, but he didn't have the current events, what was going on. They didn't have, the technology today to fill in what was going on. But when Moshe Rabbeinu saw that burning bush, he understood already that was the tzaras of Klal Yisrael. We're going to see how in a moment, okay? Sham Rabbi Seinu Zal, Mishum imay anoichi b'tzara. Oh, beautiful, beautiful words. We say in the Yoshev B'Tzeis Elyon, right? We end off the Yoshev B'Tzeis Elyon. Imay anoichi b'tzara chatzei v'chavdeu oirich yamas b'yeh v'arei b'shuas. You remember those words, Shachar? Yeah. What does it mean, imay anoichi b'tzara? What does that mean, those words? I am with you in the tzar. I'm with you in the tzar. You're having a problem, Hashem says. David HaMelech is teaching us. I'm with you in that problem. You're not to yourself. We know wherever we go with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem is with us everywhere. Hashem is always with us. No matter what situation we're dealing with, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there. A beautiful tefillah always is when you're going through a difficult situation. Hashem should spare us all, of course. We should have all good. But if it should ever happen that you're in a trying time, a person can say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Imay Anoichi B'tzara, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're with me in this problem. You're with me in this problem. So if I'm not Zaycha, if I'm not meritorious to get out of this problem, for your sake, Hashem, for your sake, that you're dealing with the same situation that I'm dealing with, for your sake, but get us out of this problem. You understand that? Is that an amazing idea? And it's for your sake, Rabbeinu Shalom, take me out of this problem because you're with me in this mess. You're with me in this mess. Take me out with you. You go out, take me with you. Unreal. These beautiful tefillas that you can come up with and just put the words to work to get closer to the Rabbeinu Shalom. That's what it's all about. Hainish Iker is Galus Elikus. The main thing is to be Megala the Elikus in everything. To be Megala Elikus in everything. No matter what's going on in our life, it doesn't make a difference. There's Elikus. There's Rabbeinu Shalom is there. You have to be Megala. You have to reveal the fact that the Rabbeinu Shalom is there. How do you do that? Bechinas Bittel. That's when we're mevatel ourselves. We said that what happened. Anytime we said that in lesson 65 in Likutey Marat, that if a person, it's built into our instinct that if a person has a pain, if he, let's say, the person banged their foot, they have a toothache or something, who knows, whatever it is, there's some kind of instant pain. They stubbed the toe. Oy! What do? You close your eyes. Now, why is that? Why did the Rebbeinu Shalom make it that we close our eyes? Because Hashem is teaching us in Bria, within the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu made us, that we have to close, we have to be mevatel ourselves to remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we said when we close our eyes, what are we doing? We're not looking at this world. We take our focus off of this world. We take our focus off of the fact of all the situations and all of the things that are trying to be mabalbal us, that are trying to confuse us in this world. When we close our eyes, and then our seichel can be connected up to with the Rabbeinu Shalom, and that's how you can be megalei, because that's bittul. Zocha Moshe al yedei shenosan libay al tzaras Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu felt the pain. Look at this. You know, tzaddikim, when they hear something, Hashem Yishmereinu, Mamash, like what happened yesterday. There were people that Mamash sit down and they cry for hours. There are people that sit down and cry for hours. Feel the pain. Feel what happened. What just happened here? A 15-year-old bacher on his way to yeshiva gets blown up. Hashem Yishmereinu, what is this? Feel it. Look at this. Shenosan libay al tzaras. He gave his heart. He felt the pain of Klal. He felt it. He didn't have to feel it. Let's think about it. Moshe Rabbeinu, think about it. He grew up in the house of Paroi. Moshe Rabbeinu was a prince. He could have easily have lived a very, very comfortable life. Very comfortable. He didn't have to get involved with the Mitzri that's hitting the Jew, and then he had to use the shame, and this and that, and then he had to run away. Look what he went through. But then Moshe Rabbeinu was on his heart. Tzaras Yisrael Kamei Shomer Beiseinu Zal. Umigoydol Tzarosei v'dachkoi mitzaras Yisrael Bittel Atzmai betachlis haBittel. So Moshe Rabbeinu used the tzaras of Klal Yisrael to feel that. He felt that pain the same way as if we, with Chas v'Shalom, stub our toe, we feel that pain, and then we close our eyes. Moshe Rabbeinu felt the pain of Klal Yisrael so much so that it caused him to go into a state of bittul. He closed his eyes from this world, and he connected to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Is that amazing? The Moshe Rabbeinu was so connected to Klal Yisrael, he was able to do that. And that's how Moshe Rabbeinu was zoicha. That's how he merited to have his galus, this revelation of Elikus, because he felt the tzaras of Klal Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu was able to take us out of the Golus Mitzrayim. Moshe Rabbeinu, through, like we learned yesterday, through Moshe Rabbeinu's Bittel, he was able to go to Shemayim, be in Shemayim Mamish, able to hear the Torah from the Rabbeinu Shalom, take it and bring it down to this world. And this was the fascination that Moshe Rabbeinu looked at it. He saw that there was a bush that was on fire. It was burning. There was a blazing fire from a bush, but it wasn't being consumed. How is that possible? Think about it. You see a fire in the forest, and you see a fire. But you see the fire is going, but the trees are not being consumed. Fascinating, no?
That would solve all the forest fire problems.
It's
Yeah.
also not hot because you can approach it.
You what?
It's also not hot because you can approach it. It's like all the mice.
Yeah, okay, listen, we listen, but the fact that we're learning here that this the thing is that the fact that the Torah tells us that the bush was on fire, but it wasn't being consumed. I mean, let's think about it. The fire uses the bush as its fuel. So obviously the fuel here was not the bush. Right? That's the point. Right? Because in this world, you need to feed the fire, right? If you don't feed the fire will go out.
He saw the fire.
He saw the fire, but he saw that it wasn't being consumed because of the bush, and that's what he focused on. He saw the bush with the dinim and the kitrugim. He saw that the bush was what? Was judgment, was prosecution. He saw that. There's still din. He saw that there's still din. And it wasn't the din was not mevatel. The din was not nullified. There was still judgment. Even though he realized the eish, he realized the fire. He realized the fire because he realized the fire, the real fire, the fire of the Rabbeinu Shalom. Shu bechinas eish oichla. Hakadosh Baruch Hu is a fire that can consume. Hakadosh Baruch Hu is a fire that consumes, as it says in Devarim. Right? What? Right there from Shira Shirim, the words of Shira Shirim. It's a burning coals, Rishpei Eish, like coals that are burning, and it's a big fire, glowing fire. Shedema Rishpei shall have his Eish advekus v'abittel. That's dvekus v'haya roya b'vadai shezeh Eish Yisrav. And it really was worthy that really this fire should have consumed. And it really should have consumed, and it should have burnt the sneh. A good chaydish of that. Sheheim bechinas hadinim, that's dinim, v'akitrugim, shemeheim achizas hasitra achra v'aklipas. And that's where the din, all the din and the klipas take their power from any mistakes that Klal Yisrael made. That's where they get their power from. And that's where the klipa, the husks of impurity get. But Moshe Rabbeinu saw that the fire was on fire. He saw that the bush was on fire. V'im calls there with all this vasnen ukal, but the sneh is not getting consumed. Va'al kain tama mi'oid al zeh. Moshe Rabbeinu was wondering. He was in awe. Moshe Rabbeinu was tama. He was wondering. What? He was perplexed. You'll see it. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that it was sa'ar lirois. It was hard for he was in bewilderment by what he was seeing. Vayikra elav Moshe, he called him Moshe. Amaloi, al tikrav haloim. Don't come close. You have to take off your shoes because this is Admas Kodesh. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu's the Shechina was there. Sheyevshel is karev haloim kol zman. Sheyesh lo eza achizas me'aguf hagashmi. Now, what was it? He said, take off your shoes because your shoes are something from a gashmias. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu was telling him, as long as you're bound by something of Gashmi in this world, you can't come to me. You're not able to do that. You're not able to because you're still connected to this world. That's why when we close our eyes from this world, we don't see anything in this world. We don't see anything. But Moshe Rabbeinu was looking at the fire. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, take off your shoes. Take off your shoes. Look, he's going to explain. As it's explained in the Holy Zayah, Sheshal nalecha merame sheyafshid gufay shenoga by bas parai. Take off your body, remove your physical body, the shoes, the body. That why? Because bas parai touched it. This is what the Zayah says. Wow, it's worth coming just to listen to these words, right? To understand this concept, right? Bas Parai was obviously from this world. She was Bas Parai, Pera, right? She was the daughter of and she touched Moshe Rabbeinu. She touched Moshe Rabbeinu. Ki tzrichin lahavshad atzmai mizeh aguf. You have to, so to say, disengage from this body of yours. Legamre. Look, 2 times, he says it twice. That's Libitaklis hashleimus. Can you imagine this? Unreal, right? Unbelievable.
That's how bad they were. That's how bad, like, the Paro's family was. Like how.
And so says the Zohar Kodesh, right? Unbelievable. Dahainu listam einav mechazu dahai alma legamre. Close your eyes from anything of this world. Just leave the world, leave the whole physical situation. Mechazu me'ai alma, v'oz yichodim la'aleis l'sham, and then you can come b'shalom, v'loshav liyered misham b'shalom. And that was the secret the Rebbeinu Shalom was telling Moshe Rabbeinu. If you want to come to me, and you want to come to me and be successful, you want to be able to return successfully, not to be like Elisha ben Avuya, not to be like Ben Zayman, not to be Ben Azai, not like they return. You want to return successfully, you have to disconnect yourself from this world. You have to disconnect yourself. Bring the Torah from where? That place of Bittel. That place of Bittel. You could bring Torah from that place of Bittel. And that's what Moshe Rabbeinu did, right? When he went to Shemaim, he brought down, not only did he bring down Torah, he brought down the whole Torah. And that's how you can be mevatel and break all the dinim and the sitracha. How do you do it? Because we said when a person goes into Bittel because he had a problem, right? He had a problem. Let's say he stubbed the toe. We'll use that example, okay? Because that's a kind of a minor thing, right? That's kind of it hurts like it's terrible when it happens, right? But it's it's not gonna last that long, right? What happens is when you close your eyes and you're thinking about the Rabbeinu Shalom and your seichel leaves your mayach, goes to the Rabbeinu Shalom now, and then when you open your eyes, that pain is much stronger. Because you forgot about it for a minute. So your toe's telling you, wait a minute, what about me? What about me? I still hurt over here. You keep sending the message back to the mind, right? Isn't that the way it works, right? We have the electronic, the whole, what do you call it? The circuit system in the body, right? The toe sends the message to the mind. Hey, I still hurt. So what do you do? But when the Maya says, hey, wait a second, but we know it's from the Rabbeinu Shalom. We know it's from the wisdom. Perhaps the toe we went somewhere that we weren't supposed to go. Perhaps we did something we weren't supposed to, and that's why we're dealing with it. We understand that the pain came from the Rabbeinu Shalom. Understanding, that's Torah. That's understanding. That whole understanding is Torah. When you use the Torah, that can be the antidote to fight against it, because the toe's going to be hurting a lot. But if you can keep fighting the toe and you tell the toe, no, there's a purpose for this. There's a purpose for it. Or let's say you buy the dentist, like the old example that we always like to use, right? You buy the dentist and the tooth is hurting and the dentist is drilling your tooth. And then again, like we always said, you don't punch the guy in the nose. Like, what are you doing to me here? It hurts. It's that noise, right? But now not only you give him a lot of money, right? You give him a mon keser, you give him a lot of money for his service. Right? Because you know that it's going to be, whatever he's doing is going to help you in a couple of hours. It'll be better. So how can it be that when you're dealing with something and you know it's from the Rabbeinu Shalom, Kol Me'ez Hashem? So how do you, if you could trust in the dentist and not be angry at him, how could you be angry at HaKadosh Baruch Hu? No, right? Is it true? I mean, we could say this every day. We all need this. Right? Is it true? Just to remember these things all the time. It's all Me'ez Hashem. Hashem. Oh, okay. Do we have more time? I don't know if everyone has to leave. I don't know what the schedule. Okay. Valkain me'ein Moshe b'shlichusai kama pamim. Moshe Rabbeinu was mine. He was protesting. I think that's a good word. Moshe Rabbeinu was protesting his shlichus so many times. Hashem said, "Go." He said, "No, I can't talk. I can't this. I can't. No, I can't." I did. And he had so many excuses. V'amashlach no biyad tishlach. Look at this. Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Well, this is going to be a big war. This is going to be a big battle. I don't know if I can be successful doing this." This is Moshe Rabbeinu. He was talking. He was able to bring down the entire Torah. He came and he was able to subdue the other side so much. He came down in this world and he was able to subdue it. In Shemayim, he was able to subdue the angels and he was able to fight against them. Im kol Torah kula, to bring down the whole Torah. V'afal pichein is goru miyoid b'Yisrael al yedei hasosas ha'erev rav. But Klal Yisrael, oy vey 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 vey. Klal Yisrael, we went against Moshe Rabbeinu because of the Erev Rav. Look at Moshe Rabbeinu. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what happened with the Erev Rav? Remember what happened with the Erev Rav? The Erev Rav were Mitzrayim, right? And there was Mitzrayim that said that they wanted to join Klal Yisrael. These were Mitzrayim that wanted to join Klal Yisrael. So Moshe Rabbeinu asked Hashem, should I take them? Hashem said, I don't think you should take them. Moshe Rabbeinu said, but no, they'll be okay. They'll be okay. Hashem said, okay, if you want to take them, you take them. If you want to take them, you take them. Oy, oy, oy. Could you believe it? Moshe Rabbeinu thought, he said the Torah is so powerful, it could even penetrate them. But even them, even like in this week's Pasha, with we had with Yitzchak and Esav, right? Yitzchak and Esav. So what do you think? Esav didn't learn Torah also? You think Esav didn't learn Torah? He also learned Torah in Shem Dever. But Esav was learning Torah not for the purpose of getting closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He was learning Torah to learn how to be more conniving and more more cunning to his father. So he comes to Tata, how am I going to take Maisa on Tevin? Straw. Wow, he's such a big tzaddik. You're even thinking about how you're going to take Maisa on Tevin. You're going to take the tithe on straw. There is no tithe on straw. And then he came up with another one. How about on salt? I have salt. I wanted to give tithe. There is no tithe. So really, what was going on? Well, Yitzchak was a fool. Chas v'sholom. Yitzchak was the first person to be born to Klal Yisrael, with Klal Yisrael, to be with Kedusha, with Kedushas Yisrael. Yitzchak Avinu was the first one, right? Because Avraham Avinu came from Terach. And that was the biggest Pella, right? Terach was not only was he an Avodah Avodah Zarah, he was a wholesaler for Avodah Zarahs, right? He had a whole Avodah industry. Unbelievable, right? That's that famous story that he went into the warehouse and he banged it and he put remember that beautiful story? Unbelievable. Huh? Right. And he put the stick in the big idol's hand, and he told him, well, he was the one that did his father's.
That's where
he got upset. He got angry at the little one. They were fighting, and he destroyed them all. And his father said, how can they be? They're just stones. They're gold. They're silver. How can it be? So he said that new tata. So what are you doing? He just answered it yourself. Okay, but either way. So what happened with Avraham Avinu? So what happened by Avraham Avinu? But he still saw the Rabbeinu Shalom. He understood it was a Rabbeinu Shalom. He found the Rabbeinu Shalom. But he had to work so hard. Avraham Avinu had to work so hard. He didn't know about Shem Ve'ever. He didn't know about anything. He didn't know at that time. He had to mamish work hard. He came from nothing. Mamish nothing. And he was able to find with Sarah Imenu. And they were the first ones to be together as a union of Kedusha. As a union of Kedusha. It said that when what do you call it? When they were going down to Mitzrayim the first time, Avraham Avinu, it says, the Torah says that he saw that Sarah Imenu was a beautiful lady. What? She was how old at the time? What? She was 75 years old, whatever it was. How old was she? And he only saw now that she was a beautiful lady? Yeah. He only saw now because he never looked at his wife that way in a way of lust. He looked at his wife with only kedusha. That was Avram Avinu. Unbelievable, the kedusha. So they were able to bring Yitzchak Avinu into the world. Yitzchak Avinu was the first one that was born the kedusha, right? And then he gave birth to Yaakov Avinu. To Yaakov Avinu came from Yitzchak Avinu, right? And that was the Chut HaMeshulash. What's the Chut HaMeshulash? We have Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. He never mentioned, the Gemara says you don't mention one without the other. You always have to mention the three together. That's why in Shemona Esrei we say Lekei Avram, and Lekei Yitzchak, and Lekei Yaakov. Right? We have to say it all together because of the schus of the three. Because of that schus, the shalshelis that came from them, that can never be broken. That can never be broken. So Yitzchak Avinu saw in Esav, that Esav was learning, but he saw that he was learning for the wrong reason. But he said he saw the potential that Esav had to be mamash a big tzaddik. He saw that. Esav had a tremendous potential. And Yitzchak Avinu kept his, they say you have to keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer, right? There's an expression like that, yeah, right? So Yitzchak Avinu understood that. He understood that Esav was a guy that was very vulnerable. He knew what he was up to, but he wanted to keep him close. He wanted to keep him, and he did that. Unbelievable. And then, the story goes on, that he had his who was the son of Esav? Eliphaz. Eliphaz was the son of Esav, right? He was the son of Esav that Esav sent to kill Yaakov Avinu. Next, right? He sent him to kill Yaakov Avinu. The Sfarim say, how did Eliphaz have the ability? How did he have the ability not to kill Yaakov? He was from Esav, Edai. He was from Mamish Reitzchem, because he sat on the lap of Yitzchak Avinu. He sat on the lap of Yitzchak Avinu. He sat with Yitzchak Avinu, and because he sat and spent time with his grandfather, Yitzchak Avinu, he wasn't able to kill Yaakov. He wasn't able to do it. We don't understand these things that the Avos HaKadoshim were doing, and perhaps that was the whole reason why Yitzchak Avinu was so close with Esav, so close with him, so that way his son Eliphaz would sit on his lap to save Yaakov Avinu. Who knows? We don't know. We have no idea. We have no asag. But here we're learning over here with Moshe Rabbeinu. He had the Erev Rav were always so conniving, and the Erev Rav were always so instigating. They were trying to instigate Klal Yisrael. They were instigating Klal Yisrael all the time. All the problems that we had with the Egel Azav and all the problems started with the Erev Rav. It all started with them, and they got us riled up, and we fell into the mess. Until we did what we did. But my HaKadosh Baruch Hu was my Chriach as Moshe Rabbeinu to go. He wanted him to go L'goyeles Yisrael L'iten Lehem Es HaTorah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was very insistent that Moshe Rabbeinu do this, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that Moshe Rabbeinu was the right person for this. Moshe Rabbeinu was the right person. Ki yevtichoi v'idiyah loy goydel koyach haTorah shekoyach haTorah emedes kenegdam tamid. Because you need the koyach haTorah to fight against all the klippas, all the impurity. You need the koyach haTorah. V'chinas atzas Hashem li'olam tamid. Oh, look at these words. Atzas Hashem Li'olam tamay. The idea is, what are the atzas Hashem? That's Torah. What are the eitzes of Torah? The Torah is 613 eitzes, 613 advices on how to come close to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Atzas Hashem, the Torah is li'olam tamay, will always stand. Ki afa pishes gora behem v'osu mashu osu. That even though the Klal Yisrael was going to do what they were going to do, even if it was because of the Erev Rav, it makes the right. The Koyach HaTorah will stay and remain for eternity. And through that we give life, we give ourselves life, we give ourselves vitality. No matter what our problem, no matter what situation we're going through. Oy Rahman al-Islam, what we dealt with yesterday. Oy Hashem should spare Klal. So b'china zois nechemasi banyani ki imrasecha chiyisani. Oh, look at these words. Ki ata lo haya lanu shum kiyam chas v'sholom. Because we had no way to exist, lulei Hashem ezras alanu. If not for the Rebbeinu Shalom constantly assisting us. Shehiktim refuah l'makah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the refuah before the makkah. What's that? He gave us the Torah before the makkah, before the problems. And that's how we could find all salvation is through the Torah. Shekvar kibalnu es ha-Torah. K'mavaya mizeh b'zayah HaKadosh k'mu b'beinu harbe mizeh b'mokei macha ayin sham. Okay, we'll stop over here now. But we see this there's such beautiful ideas over here of what we can do every day. That we can do this also every day. We have the Rishimu. And we're learning the idea of when we get up in the morning, we wash our hands. And we said that when we wash our hands, the water we're taking is the water from the upper waters. That water is coming from the Mayim El Yoinim. And that water is so special, and that water can wash off the tumah that stays on our hands when we went to sleep. We said that when we go to sleep, it's a shishim of Misa. It's a shishim of death, right? It's a 60th of death. And then the tum is oiches b'yadayim. Chazal teach us that. So when we take that water and we wash our hands the right way, one, we can remove the tum off our hands. Then we could take those tzitzis. We could take the tzitzis. Once we remove the tum off our hands, we could take the tzitzis. We could see the tzitzis and we could see the tachlis. Right, the tchelis, tachlis, histaklis. We can know what we have to do in this world. We understand. And then that can help be masaki in the clay of mayach, right? Because of the tzitzis is the clay that kli that goes on the body, and we said that we know that the kli but the ikka kli is really the mayach. That's the real kalim is the mayach for the seichel. So when I put on my tzitzis and I see my tzitzis and I see that that's a kli for my guf, I can also fix my mind and prepare the kli of my mind. If there were any holes in there, any cracks in it, I can fix them all up. So that way when I put on my tefillin, right, when we put on the tefillin, we're drawing that Rishimu in, then we have the kli to set the seichel in. And then, so when we're saying, and we can do this mamish every single day. And we see that Moshe Rabbeinu, and every time we say when we have chas v'shalom, any problem during the day, we can always close our eyes and we can go and we can benefit by the same situation all the time. Hopefully we won't have any tsaris and we'll have only good, and we want more good, and we'll close our eyes to get more good and more good and more good. We shall have a good chodesh, and all Yidden should be safe and well. Shkoyach.